Welcome to my comprehensive guide on mastering JAMB stress, emphatic stress, and rhyme questions like a pro. In this video, you are going to learn essential strategies and techniques to tackle stress questions with confidence and precision. I want this lesson to be practical for you, so I'll be using the past questions to explain further. So let's get right into it. Let's begin with emphatic stress. What is emphatic stress? Emphatic stress simply emphasizes an important word that the speaker wants the listener to pay attention to. How do I mean? Let's assume that you're having a conversation with your friend and you told your friend that, oh, my friend, we'll be having our next online class next week. But your friend didn't seem to get it. So your friend said, oh, so the class is next month. Then you need to correct your friend that what you actually said was next week and not next month. So you said, our next online class will be next week. So you feel the need to elongate that next week or say it with a higher pitch because you want your friend to listen or to hear that part clearly. So that is simply what emphatic stress is all about. Emphasizing a particular word or a phrase in a sentence so that the listener can hear it clearly. So now, let's consider a few questions from the past question. Here is the first question from the 2023 past questions. So we have, she prepares a delicious dinner for her family. So, what is the likely question that someone will ask for you to feel the need to emphasize delicious in your response? A. What did she cook? Could that be it? B. Who cooked the dinner? That would be she cooked the dinner, but it is not she that is emphasized. When will she eat again? We were not told about any time in the sentence. Where did she go after dinner? We were not told about any place. So our answer will be what? What did she cook? So if we consider all of the options, we'll realize that the correct answer is what did she cook? If someone asks what did she cook, you can answer by saying she prepares a delicious dinner for her family. Do you understand? So our answer is option what? Our answer is option A. What did she cook? I hope you understand. Please, if you don't understand, you can pause the video or rewind it for some time to listen to it again. However, besides, if you have any question, you can put it in the comment. I'll be there to answer any of your questions. So let's continue. The second question. The teacher really appreciated the students' painting. So, really appreciated was emphasized. So, which of the options align or which of the questions align with this statement? A. What did the teacher dislike? The sentence didn't tell us about anything that the teacher disliked. B. Who painted the artwork? That's the student, but the student was not emphasized. C. Did the teacher give a grade? But let's look at other options. D. Why did the student choose that subject? The sentence didn't even tell us about anything like that. So the likely question to be asked that align with that statement is what? Did the teacher give a grade? So our answer will be what? Our answer will be option C. Did the teacher give a grade? I hope you understand it. Before I move on, I want you to pay attention to this. Kindly note that there is a long time trick to answering emphatic stress question. In using this trick, all you need to do is pick the option that does not have the word that is emphasized. That is, you go to the option and pick the option that does not have that same word that was emphasized. Let's look at how we can use that trick with this question. This is a question from 2022 past question. And we have Mary loves brown shoes. That is, Mary is emphasized. So we simply go to the options to look for the option that does not have Mary. A. What color of shoes does Mary have? Mary is here. B. Does Mary hate brown shoes? Mary again. C. Who loves brown shoes? No Mary. So this is a possible answer. D. Does Mary love brown gowns? Mary is in D again. So the option that does not have Mary is what? C. Who loves brown shoes? And if we check, does it align? Yes. I can actually answer that question by saying Mary loves brown shoes. So our answer will be what? Our answer will be option C. Mary loves brown shoes. However, if you are using this trick, please be very careful because JAMB might want to trick the question any which way. So you need to cross-check to be sure that that option actually align with the question. Don't just go to the option to look for the option that does not have the word. If you look at the question that we answered earlier, which is question 55, you will see that none of the option has delicious. So if you only want to use that trick, how are you going to answer a question like this? So beyond picking the answer that does not have that option, you need to check if it's actually aligned. So let's continue. This is the second question from question 2022 past questions. So we have it rained all day yesterday. So all is emphasized here. Let's look at the options. A, for how long did it rain yesterday? Option A does not have all, so it could be our answer. B, when did it rain all day? C, was it dry all day yesterday? D, did it rain all day last week? So the only option that does not have all is what? Option A, for how long did it rain yesterday? So now let's cross-check. Does it align with the statement? Yes. If someone asks me, for how long did it rain yesterday? I can actually reply by saying it rained all day. So our correct option is what? Option A. Please, before I continue, I noticed that my previous video, over 90% of those that watched it did not subscribe. When I checked my analytics on YouTube, please kindly subscribe. I put a lot of effort in putting this video together. Kindly support my page, subscribe. Do it now, don't say later, please. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you. So now, after you have subscribed, let's continue. So this is a question from 2021 past question. Jonathan visited Ilorin last week. So last week is emphasized. Let's look at the options. A, who visited Ilorin last week? That would be Jonathan, but it's not Jonathan that is emphasized. B, did Jonathan arrive Ilorin last week? When did Jonathan visit Ilorin? Did Jonathan visit Ibadan last week? So if we look at these options as well, it is only option C that does not have last week. And it's also aligned with the statement. If someone say, when did Jonathan visit Ilorin? I can answer by saying, Jonathan visited Ilorin last week. So our answer is what? Our answer is option C. When did Jonathan visit Ilorin? So the second question from 2021 past question. The election results will be announced now. So now is emphasized. A, what will be announced immediately? That will be the election result. But that was not the phrase that was emphasized. B, when will the election result be announced? Now. In fact, that is like a direct answer to it. But let's consider other options before choosing our answer. C, why will the election be announced? Why will the election be announced now? D, who will announce the election result? From the all of the options that we've read, you'll notice that the only question that aligns with the statement is, when will the election result be announced? This is another example. You will realize that all the option, I think it was only one that has now. So you cannot use that trick of checking only the option that does not have the word that is emphasized. You really need to check each of the option to pick the answer that align, the question that align with the statement. So our answer here is what? B. When will the election result be announced? Do you understand? Can you answer emphatic stress questions confidently now? Please, if you don't, you can go back to watch again. You can ask your questions in the comment section. It is actually very simple. So now let's move on to the next topic, which is stress placement. That is how to place stress on a syllable in a word. Stress placement. So now before we move on, what is stress itself? Stress simply means prominence. That is, it is the emphasis or degree of force placed on a particular syllable within a word to make that syllable prominent than others. What do I mean by prominent? That is, that particular syllable is clearer than others. This could be because that syllable is louder than others, or it's higher in pitch than others, or it's longer in duration than others. So, because of any of this feature, that particular syllable that is stressed will be clearer to the listener than every other syllable around it. So, if it seems this simple, why is stress identification usually difficult for Nigerian students? First, you need to understand that there are different types of languages in the world. All world languages are divided into two, broadly divided into two. So we have the syllable timed languages and the stress timed languages. In stress timed languages, all syllables are not pronounced the same way. While some syllables will be stressed, other syllables will be rushed over. But in syllable timed languages, all of the syllables will be pronounced the same way. Example of a syllable time languages is many African languages like Yoruba, Igbo. They are all syllable time. So you pronounce all the syllables. But in English, you don't pronounce all the syllables. So this feature of stress placement is kind of strange to us as Africans. So we just have to learn it. Let me exemplify what I just explained. Let's say you want to pronounce village in English and in Yoruba. If you want to pronounce village, you say village, village. You will notice that V is stressed than each, the second syllable. But if you want to pronounce the same thing in Yoruba, you will say abule. That is, you are pronouncing all the syllables the same way. You are not going to say abule or abule. No. If you are a Yoruba speaker, you will understand that what I've just said is even funny because that's not the natural feature of the Yoruba language. Let's say you want to pronounce enjoyment, enjoyment. You will notice that joy is naturally higher. You can hear that joy clearer than you will hear in and meant. If you want to pronounce the same thing in Yoruba, you say igbadun. You cannot say igbadun or igbadun. It's not possible because that's not the feature of the Yoruba language. Even in sentences, if you want to pronounce in English, you say I'm a girl because you are going to merge I and ham together, and A is going to be weaker. But if you want to pronounce the same thing in Yoruba, you say obirinimi. You cannot say obirinimi or obirinimi. It's not possible because that's not the natural feature of the Yoruba language. So stress is strange to many Africans. It's not a feature of our language. So we just have to learn it. We have to learn what are the tips and tricks that we can employ for us to identify stress or for us to be able to place stress correctly in words or in sentences. So now let me explain 3 tips that you can use to identify stress or to place stress correctly in words. The first trick is to identify the word class of the word. That is, whether the word you want to place stress on is a noun or a verb. 2, you can consider the last syllable of such words, and this is usually applicable to polysyllabic words, that is, words with 3 or more syllables. The third tip is to consider the quality of the vowel in the syllable, that is, whether the vowel can be stressed or cannot be stressed. So now let's look at these tips one after the other using the past questions. I want it to be so practical so that it does not be like I'm just giving you the rules. I'm not using it with the past questions. So first, using the word class. This is particular to 2 syllable words or disyllabic words. So these 2 syllable words are words that can function as noun or verb depending on the context. So when it functions as a noun, it is stressed on the first syllable usually. And when it is function as a verb, it is stressed on the second syllable usually. So we have record for noun, record for verb, subject for noun, subject for verb, contract for noun, contract for verb, import for noun, import for verb, export for noun, export for verb. Do you understand? So if you are going to be given a question like this for your JAM, they are going to put it in brackets beside it and write noun or verb so that you can know whether the word you want to stress, the stress you want to place should be noun or verb. However, there are exceptions to this rule. You must have known that for all rules in English, there are usually exceptions. So there are some words that whether they are noun or verb, they are going to be stressed on the first syllable. So we have interest, interest, counsel, counsel, process, process, comfort, comfort. So these and more are exceptions to the rule. How do you know when it is exception or the regular one? You practice. The more you practice, the more you come across words and the more you know how they are stressed. So let's consider the second tip, which is considering the last syllable of the word. And this is particular to polysyllabic words, that is, words that has three or more syllables. So you consider the last syllable in this word, whether it is maybe meant, whether the word ends with meant, or it ends with able, or it ends with shown, etc. So before I give you the rules for this, you need to understand that there is a way that syllables are ordered or they are counted. It's usually counted from the back. So you start from the back, the last syllable, the second to last syllable, and the third to last syllable. So the last syllable is usually regarded as the ultimate syllable. The second to last syllable is the penultimate syllable, while the third to last syllable is the until penultimate syllable. So if I say the ultimate syllable, I'm referring to the last syllable. If I say penultimate, I meant the second to last. If I say antepenultimate, I meant the third to last syllable. I hope you understand. I would advise you get a pen and a book to write all these tips down so that you don't forget. So here is the first question from the 2018 past question. I don't want to pronounce it for you because if I do, I'll be pronouncing it with the right stress pattern, and that would have given you the clue. However, how do you stress a word that ends with shon, whether it is tion or sion? Words that ends with shon are usually stressed on the penultimate syllable. So we have information, communication, decision, commission, education. So shorn words are usually stressed on the word second to last syllable or the penultimate syllable. So back to our question, justification. So the answer here is D, justification. There are other words that are usually stressed on the second to last syllable too, or penultimate syllable. So words that ends with ence. So we have independence, correspondence. Words that end with ic. So we have democratic, photographic, informatics. Words that ends with ian. So we have disciplinarian, totalitarian. So other words are words that ends with ium, which is ium, um, etc. So these words, you stress them on the penultimate syllables. How do you get to know? Write it down now and go and use it to answer your past questions so that you get conversant, you get familiar with the way it is stressed. So we have another word here from the 2016 past question. We have obligation, obligation. Words are ends with Sean, stressed on second to last syllable. So the syllable is going to fall on what? Gay, obligation. So our answer is what? A. So now we have moved on to the 2023 past question because I'm actually looking out for different words with different features. So here we have expostulate. Words that ends with ate, ate. How do we stress them? So words that ends with ate, cy or sy, al, able, able, et, etc. As you can see on the screen, they are all stressed on antepenultimate syllable or the third to last syllable. So we have manipulate, communicate, navigate, democracy, emergency, controversy, professional, etc. So now back to our word, which is expostulate. So let's start from the back. We have eight, two, and pause. So first, one, two, three. So the stress will fall on what? Pause, which is a third from the back. So our answer is option A, expostulate. So now to another question, sufficiency, which ends with CY, part of the rules that we just learned. So that means it's going to be stressed on the third syllable to the last again. So we have sufficiency, which is option C. Option C, that is where we have the fee syllable stressed. So our correct answer is what? Our correct answer is C, sufficiency, sufficiency. So now let me explain the third tip, which is considering the quality of the vowel. Stress placements can be determined by considering the quality of the vowels in the syllable. We define stress as prominence or clarity, which means that a stress syllable must be louder, higher, or longer. So, if a syllable with a diphthong or a longer vowel is in a word with another syllable with a short vowel, then it is likely that it is the syllable with the longer vowel or diphthong that will be stressed. I also need you to note that the schwa sound or the schwa vowel will never be stressed because schwa sound is a weak vowel. Please don't say what is a schwa sound. I already explained it in my previous video that I made on how to answer JAMB vowel questions. I'll be linking it in the description below. Please, if you've not watched it, you can go and watch it there to understand what vowels are. I can't delve into explaining vowel here again because that's going to consume our time. So I also need you to note that the short E and the short U don't usually take stress when there are other vowels that can take stress around it. Do you understand? So schwa will never take stress, and short E and short U also rarely take stress. So if you have schwa in a word and other vowel, the stress will automatically fall on that other vowel. So we have aya, I, that's a diphthong. Then the R is a schwa. So the stress fall on what? I. We have above. That is schwa. So stress cannot fall on it. So the stress will be on what? Above, etc. So we have another question here. We have inoffensive and then we have disagreement. So I'm going to use these two questions to exemplify using the quality of the vowel to determine the stress. So this is the transcription of inoffensive. I told you that short E will usually not take the stress when there's another vowel. So the stress cannot fall on in. The next vowel that we have is schwa. Stress will never fall on schwa. Then we have fent. So we have the short air there. Then the next one is also sieve, which is another short E. So considering the quality of the vowel, the stress is going to fall on fent. So we have inoffensive. The same thing for in fact, it's simpler to determine in disagreement because we have a longer vowel here. So you can't leave a longer vowel to go and stress another vowel that is shorter. So we have, it's going to be pronounced as disagreement. So the clearer or the clearest syllable in that word is what? Gree, because it is longer. So now back to the question we have inoffensive, fend. So which option is stressing it on fend? That is option C. So answer is C. Disagreement. Option B stressing on agree. So that's our correct answer. I hope you understand it. You can pause it to write down the tip. I've told you get your pen and book, write all the tips down so that you can apply it. But now I'm moving on to JAMB rhyme questions. How to answer JAMB rhyme questions. But before I consider the past questions, what is rhyme? Rhyme simply means same sound or identical sounds. So we all know the popular poem, Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are, up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. So we have the end words, the first two end words. Then the second one we have I. You can see that these two, the rhyme, that is, they have the same sound. So it's the same thing that you are asked to do in JAM. JAM gives you a word with a particular sound in it, and then it expects you to pick another word from the option that has the same sound. But where you can actually have issues is if you can't identify the correct vowel sounds in that word. Usually English words are not sound as as they are spelt. So you have to be able to identify the real sound in the word. So here is a question from 2022 past question. We have Rome, which means that we are looking out for what? Home sound. A, from. B, come. C, home. D, how. So the only option that has home, just like we have in the question, is what? C, home. So that's our correct answer. So we have option 57. Yes, I said it. You have to be able to identify the correct vowel sound. So this question, is it pronounced bow or bow? It is pronounced bow. So your answer cannot be do, option B, no. A is thought, is out of it. C is low, is out of it. So our answer is what? D, how, because the word is actually pronounced bow. Another tip you can use for this question is two option already has O, do, and low. So considering that, you can tell that, oh, it's not possible for it to be O, bo. So our answer is going to be what? Our answer is going to be how, which is unique in the options. So we also have another question 58, rain. So we are looking out for ain. Please, in JAM or any question, you have to be very calm. Don't rush to pick your options. Because if you look at the options here, JAM wants to trick you a little bit. So we have B, frame, C, feign. So if you don't get to C, you just saw frame. Oh, A, you went to pick it, you get it wrongly. So the answer is C, feign. We also have jer, jer. I explained this sound in the vowel video. So option D, that's our answer. Bear, because it can be jeep, ge, or gauge. So our answer here is the diphthong air. Bear, bear. So I hope you understand. Please don't get worked up. If you say, oh, how do you learn all these rules? How do you know it? Just practice. Everything I've said in this video, the points that I've said, write it down. Pick your past question, start answering question using those tips. In fact, you'll be shocked at the way that you will get used to it quickly. So the more you practice, the better you get at it. If you have any questions, put it in the comments. I'll be there to answer your question. I'm glad to make this video. Thank you for watching it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with your friends, please.